Hey everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous, where last episode we did a couple things. We went to Wintersun, found the Count who had the special armor. He had deserted to live with the Wintersun clan, and we basically said you can do that as long as the Wintersun village helps us out, helps the crusade. And then we also finally defeated this army here, getting 200 finance points a day. Increase, whatever, you know what I'm saying. And then we went down to the Molten Scar, where we found Janna Aldore, whatever. And also some other captured crusaders who had been put through a horrifying ritual that turned them into demons, but we reversed it with our godly powers. And now we're done. So we're going to be heading back to Dresden to tell Arabeth about it, about what we just found. There's no path this way from the Molten Scar, so don't really know how we get to that fort. Maybe this path here, or maybe there's a path going down here. I don't know. But anyway, we are going back to Dresden, and we could teleport. So we are going to teleport to Dresden. Bam, just like that. You guys can move here. We're going to go this way. Let's check out this path. Okay. Man, that's a long, winding road right there. Go here. Okay, and start going down. Just exploring this area. Army 2. You need to go back to Dresden because you are weak at the moment. It looks like we got some more Paladins coming in. That is good. You'll join up with those Paladins. We now have 12 Paladins. It's not bad. That might actually be worth putting on your army here instead of the Spearmen. Or maybe instead of the Marksmen. Yep. Rank to 4. Good. Okay. So, let's go back to the Crusader map now. Development of the Art of War. That has been finished, so we probably have some council business to do. New decree. Help of the Nail. Right, that is reinforcing Dresden's defenses. We had to wait until we get the help from Queen Galfrey, which is 3 days away. And that's it. Okay. Let's go talk to Arabeth. To the Citadel. And we might have a trial for Janna. I don't know. It kind of seemed like we were just throwing her in prison and forgetting about her. I don't know if I like that. We might have to go to the prison and see if there's anything to do there. I want to talk to Sela too about it. Hello. Oh, this is the War Council. Captain Odin. Commander, we've managed to defeat Korra's host. The remnants of his army have retreated to lick their wounds, and we must use this opportunity to go on the offensive. But right now, our army is not fully prepared to begin such an expansion. The farther we advance into enemy territory, the more we'll need strong and mobile cavalry. I propose we replenish our forces with light cavalrymen. Mindev could offer us plenty. Sela, there are many lone paladins in Galarian, like me, who travel and help the needy. Shall we call them to our aid? That's not a bad idea. Cavalry is a crucial element of the army, one that's difficult to replace. Mindevian knights often sacrifice their defense in favor of offensive power. And it is time to put an end to this wastefulness. All riders must be encased in heavy cuirassier armor, so as to avoid unnecessary losses. I was kind of hoping you'd say, bring the Hell Knights in. In my long and productive life, I've taken assignments involving knights, nomads, and other targets who enjoy prancing about on horses. And let me tell you, the hardest of those targets were hedge knights. They are true dogs of war who don't have a homeland. But what they do have is experience and a sharp blade. If you need cavalry, I say, they're your guys. Okay, let's just take a look at the choices here. So Paladins, All mounted scouts are promoted to paladins. That's pretty big. We have a lot of mounted scouts at the moment. I kind of like that idea. That's really good. Cuirassiers. They use flails. I don't know about them. Hedge Knights. So that's what Reggie suggested. I was kind of hoping we get Hell Knights as a recruitable. So Hedge Knights. Great Axes. I do like the idea of Hedge Knights too. And then Light Cavalry. Probably need to, actually compare these. I think Light Cavalry is probably just a better version of Mounted Cavalry. (13 to 20 damage, AC of 16. We're going to look at those three things. Hit points, AC, and damage. So Light Cavalry, 87, 16, and 13 to 20. Hedge Knights, 157, 20, 18, 20. So they're just better. Really, I should not take Light Cavalry, it looks like. I'm guessing the difference is we'll be able to recruit more Light Cavalry units than we would any of these other types per week. 382 hit points, 30 AC, 8 to 15. So they do the least amount of damage, but damn, that hit point, those hit points. That could be good, but we already have shield bearers, right? We have our defensive unit. So Paladins, on the other hand, could be really useful. 97 hit points, 18 power, 18 AC, 20 to 27. I kind of like the Paladins. We're going to go with the Paladins, but probably. Want to hear the opinions of my advisors. Sela, what advantages do Paladins offer? The gods have blessed them with strength, protected them against darkness and corruption. They spend their whole lives training and performing great deeds. Destroying evil is what they live for, and it's what they do better than anyone. I agree. Reggie? There's a certain breed of fighter who thinks that the glory they win on the battlefield justifies any amount of risk. That may be acceptable for them, but it is not acceptable for their commanding officers. Wasting cavalry and daring attacks only saps the strength of our own army. We must see to it that all riders are equipped with the best armor, the kind that will provide the highest chance of survival on the battlefield. I would also advise against recruiting any glory seekers or protectors of high ideals to serve as our cavalry for the aforementioned reasons. Captain Odin prims his lips and says forcefully, "The riders of Mendev aren't accustomed to fearing for their hides. Your demands, Reggie, may lead them to believe that you don't trust them, or, even worse, suspect them of cowardice." Greyboar? I once had a contract to kill a highborn baron. A famed warrior never went anywhere without an escort, so prepared an ambush for his entourage on a forest road in the dark. The screams of that baron when he and his horse fell into the spiked pit. And above him, there was a slaughter going on. I showed myself, split open the head of the nearest guard, and darted into the bushes. They followed, right into my trap. Crossbows, wooden stakes, sticking out of the ground, all sorts of things. Arrows flying about, everyone shouting. They made such a racket, they scared themselves. They thought they'd been hit by a whole gang of assailants. In any case, the knights who served the Baron, because of their oath, got the jitters and bolted, even his kin. But the 2 hedge knights he hired fought like wild beasts. Those were worthy opponents indeed. It's simple. They know that if they don't win, they don't get a single coin. Hedge knights are seasoned folk. They've been around, dangerous too. They fight for victory and gold, not for honor or glory. They don't care if their tactics are cheap. If they can kill the enemy, they will. I doubt the people you've described even have the right to call themselves knights. I'm not keen on fighting side by side with someone who sees the Crusades as a chance to make a fortune. I mean, you fight with Greyboar. So, Captain Odin. Light cavalry may be inferior to knights as far as equipment quality goes, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. Firstly, the lightness of the armor gives them maneuverability, and secondly, many noble offspring who have battle skills and a fast horse but can't afford expensive armor will gladly answer your call, eager to earn glory with their feats. Yeah, so he's basically saying we'll be able to recruit more every week. So long as they don't flee the battlefield on those very same fast horses. They're lovers of glory and easy victories. Everything's clear? We're gonna go with the Paladins. I hope the Paladins won't let us down. I haven't let you down, and they won't either. With that, this meeting of the Military Council is adjourned. I will brief the officers on the expected reinforcements immediately, and see to it that our available stables are expanded and properly refitted. Perfect. Alright, Erebeth. I found out how the demon snuck up on us. It won't happen again. Erebeth's face remains stoic, but her eyes shine with joy. You neutralized the threat and saved many crusaders from a fate worse than death. These days, we need good news more than ever, and the news that you crushed those foul demons and their spells. This has greatly boosted the morale in the ranks. Good. Erebeth says goodbye. Goodbye, Erebeth. Let's check the map, see if anything has been updated after doing those two things. Nope, nothing new. Okay. Let's go ahead and leave. And what are we going to do next? I guess the next step really is start moving towards the Ivory Sanctum. Which I imagine that one is definitely going to be a big place. It's got like a token piece instead of just a circle. Which usually indicates a bigger map from what I've experienced. Let us go ahead and rest. Let's choose a new spell. To make, we can now make level 6 spells. Look at that. Alright, what do we want to get for, let's go ahead and get a Scroll of Cold Ice Strike. Make one of those. Woljif can learn that. Sela, maybe if you stopped careening around like a runaway cart and just sat down and thought about things, you'd figure out how to change your life. Who's this to? I've already done a stretch behind bars. Thank you very much. I'm not going to sit around thinking while I'm free. I reckon I've earned myself 5 years of no thinking at all. $20, and we've got a scroll. Let's go ahead and have Woljif learn that immediately before I forget. Woljif. Here you go, buddy. I know you can't use it yet, but one day.
We march ahead.
We march ahead. Alright, let's head to the map. Still have this to do, Dresden versus the Singing Priestess. But I actually didn't mean to go to the streets. That was my bad. A useless loading screen. Actually, we do want to go to the prison to see if Janna's there. So I guess we can go down to the prison. Actually, hold on. Oh, stop.
Time has come.
If we go back here, does this open up the, It doesn't. But it still might be faster. Here we go. Outside. To the prison. Alright. So there's these guys. Commander, let me out. Yeah. There you are, Janna. So we can't talk to her. But she's still here. She is here. That's good to know. Let's go talk to Sela. Yeah, she might have something to say. Is there somebody else that we recently had something to talk about? I don't actually know. So we can just go talk to all of our companions, see if they have anything new. Is she still preaching? Yep. Okay, you keep preaching. I think Sela's probably the only one we need to check in on at the moment. Anything new here? Nope. And Sela is in here, I believe. Hey, Sela. Good days and clear skies. What do you say? Where are we off to today? Nowhere. Okay. She has nothing else to say. I doubt anybody else would. Nothing to say about your good friend Jana, huh? Now, we still haven't found the... Was it a gnome or a halfling? I think it might have been a halfling. I think that was his name? Curl? Who stole the ring. We'll keep the same group. I like this group. We'll keep it for now. Since the molten scar wasn't anything too big. How are we doing on experience? We haven't gotten a whole lot, really. Let's go to the Crusaders. Take a look at Army 2 now. Huh. It didn't actually convert our mounted units. It just kind of... Church guards. Plus 5 per week. Yeah, so not a whole lot of these every week. I feel like we got robbed. I thought it said it converts all mounted scouts to paladins. I guess it probably did. But the amount of mounted scouts we had probably equaled like 4 paladins. What did we have? I think we had 12 paladins before. Now we have 18. So yeah. I guess, okay, fine. Guess that's fair. It's not fair, but it is what it is. Okay. Put the marksman here. Okay. So where are we going now? Maybe to Crimson Dust? Check that area out. Got a lot to do still. Quest-wise, we have that quest there. Maybe we should talk to the storyteller, see if the note we found was his, that they used to use that ritual on. Got Heart of Mystery there. Ivory Sanctum. We don't yet know how to get to the Ivory Sanctum. Might have to go like around here and up, and maybe like across a bridge or something. I don't know. There's Blackwater. Another place we need to go back to is Chili Creek. Because we had that one event where they came and said hello. We also have that there. Carcass of an unknown creature. We can get some reagents. Okay, let's go to Chili Creek. And we can stop at the Nameless Ruins too. How much money do we have? Actually, I have a lot of fine. We're getting 1,000 a day now. It's nice. Yeah, let's head to the Nameless Ruins. 1 day, 8 hours. Traveling merchant. Nah, we don't need to do that. While we're going, I just want to say thank you everybody who has been watching. I believe, almost 100% certain actually, that this is our 100th episode of Pathfinder. Which means, what, we're like halfway through the game, so we've still got another 100 episodes probably. And that's probably not an exaggeration, might even be more. I don't even know how far along we are in the game. But thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you are enjoying it, and I hope you will stick around until the end. For this one, let's see. Go ahead and auto-assign. Right. The auto-assign doesn't really work as well as I'd like it to. I think this would be better. Have her first watch. Have somebody like Barrett helping on second watch. And then just have Ninio working here. Is that the whole party? Yes. Ninio, you'll make a scroll. Oh, damn it, I pressed the wrong... Ninio, scroll. You here. You there. You there. There. And there. Okay, there we go. Alright. Except, Barry, you're supposed to be helping him. Perfect. Now for the scroll you're going to be learning, let's go ahead and get Heroism Greater. Begin resting.
No, you're wrong. There are treants in the desert too. Garundis call them tabongos.
You're kidding me. Fine, I lose, which means I drink. Next, I bet that in all of Galarion, a sentient slime has never held any government post.
I want to know if she's right. Camouflage has failed. But nothing happened. That's good. Oh, we got something going on the Crusader map. A new event. 2 new events. Lan wants to talk, and the arrival of an archaeologist. Companion? Bard companion? Gotta go to the headquarters. Gotta go to headquarters. Alright. Nothing for us to do on the road. The Crusaders are probably ready to go. Yep. Keep exploring. Ooh, careful. Do you think we can take this fortification? We are going to try to. Core of Riddles. Core of the Riddle. Sounds like something for what we're about to do for Nenio. Alright. Let's see how we do. They are a little stronger than us. And by a little stronger, I mean much stronger. We got shield bearers and marksmen. Let's take the marksman out. 76 damage. We like to see that. You'll attack the rogues. It's not fair. They have so many more rogues than we do. Move up there. Owie. Okay, Hell Knights. You're gonna come here and attack. Good damage. Second attack. Perfect. 17 damage. Move on up. Move up. Good. Champions, move over. Alright, take them out. Good. Marksmen, attack them. They're gonna go right up to my mongrels. Shield bearer versus shield bearer here. And a second attack, good. Now we can take on the shield bearers. Move over here. Move here. Alright, let's see how many we take out with this. Probably not a lot. 11. This is going to be potentially a very long fight. Alright. Welcome back, everybody. We are about to deliver the final blow on the shield bearers here. I just wanted to let you guys see how everything turned out. I moved the mongrels up to get in range of the power buff, and he went after them. But it's not a big deal. We have plenty of our infirmary left to go through, so we'll get them back. And the final blow. There we go. Another fort is ours. Yep, we got all of our troops back. We're ready to move. That was a long fight, those shield bearers. Alright, we have captured, what is this place called? Treason Outpost. Is it Treason Home? Yeah, Treason Home. Kind of want to rename that. Not a very good name. 1,600 additional experience points for attacking them. Kind of want to move up to them. Looks like this is the path we could take to get to the Ivory Sanctum as well. And got Core of the Riddle there. Let's move up here. Alright, we are going to attack this group too. Let's go ahead and... Unavailable. Why is it unavailable? There we go. I don't know. And save it. Because this is going to give us 16,000 additional experience. Should be very good. Actually, we're not going to do that. We're out of power. So you're just going to explore. Do a little bit more exploring with your time. Here we go. Explored a little bit. Yeah, that was actually a really good idea that I didn't go into battle because I used up all of my power fighting the last army. Nothing you can do at the moment. So we're done with the crusade. Let's go back and try and get ourselves down to the Nameless Ruins here. Before we go in there, it has been a new day. So you do not get all your power back per day. How long does it take to get your power back? I honestly don't remember. So instead, we'll just continue exploring the area. As long as we don't accidentally go... Okay. Good, it doesn't look like there's a turn there. Let's go this way. And it looks like this might indeed be what I thought it was going to be. We can loop around there. Probably another path to the Ivory Sanctum. Okay. Nameless Ruins. Oh, got something on the Crusade map. Her Majesty will not ignore the request for help from Dresden and will send her elite warriors to support the Crusade. 30 champions and 12 paladins. Fantastic. New decrees, outpost to bastion expansion. Not enough resources. But we can do this. This is the next rank up, I believe, right? Yes. Let's go ahead and do that. Issue decree. That'll take a day. Okay, good. That means we do have more paladins and more champions on the Crusade map too, or the army map. So we want to add you guys to that group. 30 paladins. Very good. That's going to be very useful to them. Hopefully that'll be sort of the core of their army, much like the Hell Knights are the core of the other army. And for you guys, we're going to send you guys to catch up with this army. And I'm going to assume that it's going to loop around. So I'm just going to have you go this way. Good. Good, good. Alright, back to the party. And now we go into the Nameless Ruins. And see if we can't figure out any of these riddles. If I remember, it's been a while since we did this quest. Might want to actually review the quest log here. 4 statues posed their riddles to Ninio and the commander. Solving these riddles will allow them to meet the owner of the mysterious voice, who seems to know the answers to all questions of the universe. The mysterious stranger may be dangerous, but Ninio is willing to take that risk. It is doubtful that the answers to these riddles can be found anywhere near the Nameless Ruins. I think the page we found might be the answer to one of these riddles. We can go down and find out. Hopefully nothing's respawned. All the way down we go. It seems like it's the answer to one of the riddles, right? I don't know. But which one is it? Might need to reread the page, too. We might do that. Hey guys, how you doing? Alright, let's take a look at that page again. There it is. The word means no name. Ravok. Okay. Does it have anything about them? Let's see. I am the unknown. I scare cowards, but reveal my secrets to the brave. Tear my mask off and let it fall at my feet. I'm impetus to act. I am a reason for torture. Oh, that's not what we're after. This one. I am the end of the road. I am superiority. I am loneliness. I am the void and the emptiness. I am the starting point. I am infinite. Maybe not. Therefore, one should pronounce the word Ravak. Is an ancient and mighty word of power that belongs to a language now forgotten. No name. Remove it into texts of the incantations to shelter themselves from anger of those who disturbed. Maybe this isn't what we want. Oh, we have nothing to put in there, so. Oh, does it give the riddle right there? Yeah. Okay, so we haven't found anything for this yet. Okay. Good to know. These things don't give, like, clues to where they might be at, do they? The ruins are so ancient that it's impossible to tell which civilization. Yeah. Okay. Back out we go. Here we are. So we do need to find items to put into the statues in order to solve the riddles. And we've not found it yet. I found any yet. I have to keep an eye out for them. So we'll continue on towards Chili Creek. See what's going on there, if anything. There might not be anything going on, but the guy did say come visit, so we'll see. And then after that, probably in the next episode, we'll start preparing for the journey to the Ivory Sanctum. Which I imagine is the next really big sort of quest that we have. Alright, head on up there. That'll take 21 hours. We might walk back to Dresden. Just to pass some time. Oh, you can't craft any of those scrolls. It's all good. Alright, well then the next one I want you to craft. Level 5 scroll, Hungry Pit. Did it rearrange everybody? No, everybody is where they should be except for Barrett. Help. Nope, not her. Him. Help him out. Begin resting. Nenio. Hypothesis. The party's sexual interest in me surged when it became known that I was a kitsune. I'm going to survey my comrades in order to confirm my hypothesis. Azamar boy, what is it about foxes you find it sexually appealing? Be precise. So, you did not even consider the possibility that I do not find... Oh, dash it all. The tail, obviously. Obviously. Alright, we did good there. Continue forward. And hopefully this is a... There it is. Some more ingredients. Are you guys ready to go? You are. Alright, go down here. So it does look like there would have been a point we could have returned. Oh, stop. Ooh, that's not good, is it? We can't... Can we fight these guys? I'm going to save it. We're going to see if we can fight them. Let's see if we can fight them. There's only 2 units. But they are very strong units. Okay. Start off with one of these. Okay. It's not as good as I was hoping. I think we might have made a mistake. He's gonna teleport here. Okay. So far, so bad. Only deals 2 damage. Okay. Oh, second attack. Good. Fire. Good. Attack them. Okay. They are dealing a significant amount of damage. Fire again. Okay. We're still okay. We're still okay. Hey, that's not good. And... damn, I was kind of hoping that would kill him. Good. Move to this guy. Champions have actually been dealing some decent damage to him. There's a big hit there. Good. Move over. Attack. Attack. Hopefully he doesn't teleport away. He is teleporting, damn it. Oh, that sucks. Move over. Attack. Attack. Hopefully the good champions can get in. Good. These... oh, I'm not... okay, that's fine. Do this. So we're gonna lose some troops, but we're gonna win this. Ooh, that hurt. There we go, we won. Woo. What did we lose? We got all of our... we lost some shield bearers. It's not bad, really. We lost, what, like, I don't know, 18 shield bearers or something? What did we gain? That's the real question. Daily income material points times 10, that's really good. The old mines, where dwarves would mine priceless crystals, are now abandoned. The group of demons that had made its lair there tried to defend their territory from the Crusaders, but to no effect. Good. That's really good, actually. We've cleared up that area. What are you? Stone of Ghostly Pathways. Alright, actually don't want you to move any further. We want you to come down. Join up with this army. There we go. Join in. Now our champions are stronger. Level 7 armies. There's a level 7 army there. Both of these are level 7 armies. Any of them have... those guys are probably going to be pretty hard to kill. They're both actually going to be pretty tough. What about these guys? Let's go after them. Okay. Something on the Crusader map. Strengthening diplomatic connections. Okay, so we'll have a staff meeting when we get back, or a diplomatic meeting. The arrival of Yakar and Kelly. Ankel? Help of the nail. We could do that. We could do one of these. How are we doing on all of these things? So help of the nail. It's gonna get us 10 more Hell Knights for 2,500 finance points. So it actually doesn't seem like a really good deal, does it? It requires 7 days to do that. Or we could do a relic quest, which only takes 5 days. Unholy symbol of Rovagug. Altar of the First Retriever. Or Faultless Daybreak. Let's do Faultless Daybreak. Yep. Yep. Okay. Let's see if we can get to Chili Creek today. Oh, there's another path this way. We'll explore that after we get done with Chili Creek. Enter Chili Creek. Alright, let's see if there's anything ominous going on here. Seems peaceful. There's that deer we killed. Oh, hi guys. It's not a wolf that howls in the night. It's not a bittern that cries in the fen. The fishermen sway slowly from side to side as they sing a mournful dirge. A woman, her face red and swollen from weeping, lifts a small doll made of grass and seaweed above her head and ties it to a branch with light blue ribbon. With a light blue ribbon. It's not the falling rain that blinds my sight. It's the grief of my broken, bleeding heart. You'll all be dead soon. What's happening here? Shush, be quiet. What's happening? What's happening is that Livona's son died 2 days ago. Her eldest, of course. So we're here commemorating the poor child. My condolences. Thank you for your kind words, but it's probably best for you to move along. This is a gathering of friends and family, and unfamiliar faces don't bring much comfort. How did he die? You want to know how he died? She begged him not to go get close to the water, told him so many times to stay on the shore. He's her firstborn, you know. But he didn't listen to his mama. He went swimming, got a leg cramp, and, well, what more is there to say? You can't cheat the river. What's so special about firstborns? I mean, I'm assuming we've picked up that there's something more than the usual specialness of firstborns in a medieval society. Too curious for your own good, eh? People are in mourning. They didn't come here to answer all your questions. They came here to grieve. Go on, leave us in peace. What does the doll mean? The doll represents the person who died. That's what it means. When someone dies, we hang a doll here in their memory. And this is the place where we mourn our dead. Others bury their dead in the ground, or keep their ashes in urns, but our dead sleep at the bottom of the river. The river always claims her own. You know. Child or old man, it doesn't matter. Every one of us will drink of the icy water someday. See the white shores of the icy rill? That's not sand, it's the bones of our ancestors, and one day we will join them. Probably not sanitary, don't you think? I mean, I know it's running water, so... But still. Probably not sanitary. I don't know if running water matters in that situation. You have to go. The fisherman ignores you as they continue to sing their mournful dirge. So I'm pretty sure they, you know, drink the water here. Alright, maybe Journeau can let us in on... Oh, I didn't even know we can go over here. I'm sure they won't mind. Looting their dead. I'll take it all. Why not? Careful in the water, Barrett. It's dangerous. Journeau, where are you, buddy? Hope you're still alive. Crazy cultists. We're not gonna loot their... We'll loot their dead, but we won't loot their actual possessions. There you are, Journeau. The priest appears to be lost in thought. His face is troubled, but his eyes light up when he sees you. Oh, hello. The villagers are performing some kind of ritual on the outskirts of the village. They were singing songs. Yes, I noticed. The priest nods gloomily. But at least I finally understand why the dolls are put in the trees. Each one represents a person who has died. Their body lost to the waters of the river. If a doll is tied with a gray ribbon, the person died on land, and their remains were sent downstream in a boat. Okay, I see. Dark blue ribbons represent those who have drowned. The light blue ribbons are used to signify the drowning of a firstborn, an eldest child. And there are a frightening number of light blue ribbons on those branches. Interesting. Something strange is going on. You don't have to tell me. Take the people who are performing the memorial service for the drowned boy, for example. When they discovered he'd drowned, they just shrugged. He was the firstborn, they said. And that was that. It was like they expected it. There was no surprise, no sense of bewilderment, no deep grief. There was just sad resignation. It all seems so strange. I have to go. Erast will help you. You! Did you kill that boy? Oh, dark be the river, and cold be its waters. That's your nose. A really good lad. Yeah. Alright, let's talk to these two. They were the talkative ones last time we were here. Look, the commander's here. Welcome back. Please, stay here for as long as you'd like. Markle, you told me your village had taken a collection to aid the army. Right you are. Here it is, just like I said. Go ahead, take it. We're just glad to help in any way we can. Oh, nice. How are things going in the village? Things haven't been good of late. The widow Livona lost her oldest son the other day. He drowned. She told him not to go too close to the river. But when have children ever listened to their mothers? If Icy Real wants something, she'll get it, sooner or later. That's a fact. The boy was a firstborn, after all. She loves firstborns, however. Loves them to death. Now, enough with such horrible talk. I'm a firstborn too, and I'm still fine, alive, and kicking. Uh-oh. I can see the criminal aura surrounding you, Markle. Is that so? Markle scratches his head. That's the last thing I'd expect. I've never done anything criminal in my life, honestly. It doesn't make any sense. My brother's telling the truth. Anyone in the village would vouch for him. What kind of ritual are the villagers performing in the grove near the outskirts of the village? Which villagers? Are the ones who are singing songs? No, that's not a ritual. They're holding a memorial service. We don't bury our dead underground. We put them in boats and release them into the embrace of our mother, Icy Real. But that's only when someone dies on land. When the river takes someone, well, there's obviously no body to put into a boat. So people sing songs in their memory and leave dolls on the trees. It sounds fair. I mean, it's different. I kind of like it. It's kind of cool. Safe travels. May you defeat all your enemies. And don't forget, you're always welcome here. Okay. Well, we got some diplomacy points, which is a good reason to come here. I'm assuming more will happen later. Criminal. I wonder, what if all these criminal auras are of the firstborns? Maybe there's something the firstborns always do. I don't know.
I will guide us.
Okay. Wait, what? Ferocious wolf. Where'd we spot that at? Oh, we haven't... Did we not explore this whole map when we were here last time? Doesn't look like it, huh? Guess we'll just go up here and look around. Don't kill the elk.
Godspeed.
Like you did last time, Baron. Mega who? Megalosaurus. Interesting. Is that like a type of elk, or is that a named creature? Probably a named creature, I'd imagine. It's probably the people. Yeah, those are it's the memorial service down there. We don't have anybody who can talk to animals in the group, do we? I don't think so. Oh, hello. I'm assuming they won't mind if we kill the wolves.
Prepare yourself.
It should be pretty easy, since they're just normal wolves. Yeah. It's gonna be a piece of cake.
I'll cut you wide open.
No glory without risk.
No glory without risk.
Precision and grace.
Alright. Ushale?
Desna, guide my hand.
strike as one.
There we go. Yeah. Knew that was going to be pretty easy. Skin those. Get that. Get the loot. See if there's anything else of interest around here. Ooh, there's loot up there. See what's going on over here. Up the river. It looks a little strange there, doesn't it? I had a blood vial up here. What's this one? Alright, looks like it's everything. Broken crate. We'll take that. Guess we'll get that loot too. Oh, hi. Probably want to get rid of this for them too.
Save the last one for me.
Seems like the smart thing to do here.
Make your peace.
Oh, this guy's actually a little more tough than the wolves. Still won't be too big of a problem for us. Oh, there's a plagued bear too.
The spirits demand your blood.
Good.
The light take you.
Light take you. Oh, I thought he was dead.
I will resist.
There might have been like a hidden one. I just didn't notice. There we go. And a bag of loot. A bag of loot.
Our path leads on.
Alright. Now that's everything. Let's go ahead and head on out of here. If we can find the way out. I think this is it. Yep. Okay. So we learned a little bit more about the village. Something fishy's going on there. And we got our diplomacy points, which is nice. Now, do we want to walk back to waste some time for our armies? Or do we want to just teleport back? We'll teleport back. Wait, it's recruitment day. Yay, recruitment day. Alrighty. So for you, obviously, you'll get the Paladins. Uses up to 35 Paladins. You also have Marksmen in your group. We'll get the Marksmen. Good. You also have Barbarians. What are these guys? Oh, it's the guys we could have had. Oh, what could have been? We'll take these guys. But not for you. How do we want to do this? I'm gonna put you over here. We're gonna recruit these guys. This is strength is 6. Good. Yeah, oh, that's good. And then you also want the barbarians, don't you? It's expensive. We'll take the barbarians too. Alright, so he's looking pretty strong now, and the other two will be going to Army 1. So you're level 6 now. Are these level 7 armies? Yeah, we're gonna send you out here. And we're gonna stop you right there. I want to explore these areas. Make sure there's nothing out there while we're there. Do some scouting. Okay. Nobody else can do anything at the moment. Actually, what we could do is we could recruit these guys with this army and just run that army out there to meet them in the field. That might not be a bad idea. We will do that. Recruit all of you. We need to buy some more resources. By 2,000 resources. Let's actually probably gonna have to buy more than that. Yeah. And then we need another 500. Buy another 1,000. So we have some. Oh. Right. I forgot they only have a thing of 3. So in that case, we'll just recruit you to you. There we go. And we'll run you out there to meet them. I'll have you go this way. Go ahead, travel on out there. Alright. Back to our party. Hopefully that might get them to rank 7. If we're lucky. We'll see when we get there. We are gonna teleport and then we'll sleep. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Go to the Citadel. We have some things to do in the Citadel, actually. Oh, I forgot we have things to do in the Citadel. Oh, wait. I forgot I'm gonna have to edit out a good, what, like, I think it was like 8 minutes or so? Something like that. So we have time. More time than I thought. Left in this episode. That's good. Alright, what do we have going on here? Lathamus. An older man in dusty traveling clothes waves at you. His face is tanned, but his gray eyes are bright. Commander? Aren't you the commander? Well met. My name is Lathamus, the Antiquarian. I study ancient relics. Perhaps you've heard of me. Though if you haven't, it doesn't matter. You have the aura of a criminal. What are you hiding? Lathamus looks at you intently. Then his lips curve into a thin smile. I have nothing to hide. Perhaps you've mistaken me for someone else. I advise you to think twice before throwing around such accusations. The job I am offering you will be profitable for us both. Yeah, to be honest, it's kind of hard to tell. I see the aura of all the criminals that have walked in here still. An antiquarian. Do you sell anything? Lathamus shrugs. Alas, I don't. They call me the Antiquarian because of my love for ancient items that might otherwise seem mundane and useless. Few understand the principles of archaeology. Sometimes even a shard from an old oil lamp is enough to shine a light on the darkness of history. I've never heard of you. I don't chase glory. It's enough for me to know that I bring knowledge to the people of Golarion. Some have used my discoveries to earn fame and fortune, but I remain a simple antiquarian. What do you want from me? I am planning a rather dangerous expedition, and I will need the help of a strong, skilled warrior. Not without recompense, of course. I found an ancient map leading to a certain cave system, a dragon burial ground. But it wasn't merely a place where old dragons came to die. I have a theory that once upon a time, a great battle took place in these caves, and many relics and artifacts were left behind. You're waging a long and difficult war. Help me uncover the secrets of the dragon burial ground, and I'll give you all of my savings. Believe me, I've earned a lot during my years of travel. All I need is for someone to clear the way down in the caves. Who knows what sort of demons inhabit that place now? Tell me the details. Of course, I will answer any questions you may have. Why do you want me to get personally involved? You could just ask me to send an armed escort with you on this expedition. Lathamus looks around. Don't think I'm trying to disparage them, but they are ordinary soldiers after all. What if we discover treasure down below? Will they resist the allure of gold for the sake of science? Will they keep our expedition a secret, even if my competitors promise them huge sums of money? No. I'm sorry, but I will only rely on someone who is trusted by the Queen. Where did you get this map of the dragon burial ground? I bartered it from a ranger in exchange for an amulet. The ranger wasn't keen on going deeper into the world wound, and I doubt he even understood how valuable this map might be for science. I dare say he made a poor bargain. Tell me more about your theory. I'm interested in dragon history, from the days of Apsu, the creation of Dahak, up to now. But dragons are reclusive creatures, and they don't enjoy discussing their history with strangers. Sure, we know about many magical conflicts involving dragons, but as for large-scale battles between dragons, they prefer to keep quiet about those, and thus we historians remain in the dark. And then suddenly, I find a map that identifies this cave system and its surrounding area as a dragon burial ground. But mass burial sites are so uncharacteristic of their kind. Dragons are reclusive by nature, both in life and in death. I assume an ancient battlefield awaits us there. But who fought whom, and for what cause? This is what we have to find out. Can you imagine? We could discover a brand new hitherto unknown page of history. Apsu, Dahak. Who are they? Apsu is known as the god of metallic dragons. In the dawn of time, he was born from the purest waters, and together with his dreaded spouse, whose name I am afraid to say, he sired many creatures in a multitude of worlds. His kingdom lies far beyond this world, among flying islands and wandering stars. Dahak, his proud and fearless son, was one of the first dragon gods. He chose the path of destruction instead of creation. He settled in hell, founding his own kingdom of flames and agony. Dahak fought alongside his father and the other gods to defeat Rovagug. Yet after the battle, he swore that one day he would return and destroy Apsu once and for all. He still dwells in his hellish palace, finding new ways to wreak havoc on Galarian, such is his uncontrollable nature. What do you hope to find in this burial ground? I seek evidence that a raging battle was fought there, and perhaps also evidence of the reasons for such a conflict. Dragons would not gather together for such a large battle over some petty, inconsequential feud. Oh no, they must have had a serious reason, and that, perhaps, is the biggest mystery of all dragonkind. I've heard enough. I'll help you. Splendid! Nathamus smiles, but the smile doesn't reach his observant gray eyes. I shall immediately head to the cave entrance and await you there. I think I can handle this part of the journey, but as for the dangers that wait down below, I fear I know nothing about them. Dusk of Dragons. Wonder if he's a dragon. It's possible, right? Lan rubs the reptile side of his face, picking at the scales with his claw. That's it, Commander. I can't do it anymore. I'm not a chief. What happened? I can't handle it. I thought it'd be my people crying to you, but it turns out it's me. I just don't know how to make the right decisions. All right, I'll relieve you of your duties. A chief doesn't complain. Go and do your duty. Let's try to figure out how to deal with your problem. All right. First of all, Aran, a girl from the tribe, wants to marry an elf. When did they even have time to get together? It feels like I'm the only one without a love life around here. Anyway, she needs the chief's blessing. They want to be married by the laws of the tribe. But I won't do it. He's an elf. She's a mongrel. Letting them marry means dooming them to eternal misery. It's wrong, but if I don't marry them, I'll be making her miserable now. My second problem, 5 fools are so afraid of demons that they've hidden in the sewage system and refuse to come out. I tried talking to them. Pointless. And I can't just drag them out. I had a plan to lure them out with food, but I think they found some down there. The rats here are definitely bigger than what we're used to. And the third problem, what should we do with the children and old people? This is a military campaign. Old people can do some household chores, but kids only get under everyone's feet. I have no idea what to do. You see, I'm not a chief. I'm probably the first person to ever ask this, but demote me, please. The first problem. Love is always a good thing, right? But how do I approve a marriage between an elf and a mongrel? She'll be dead in 20 years or so, but he'll live for 1,000 years more. I can't in good conscience bless them, but I can't stand in the way of their happiness either. Tell them that their decision is rash. Explain your point of view. There's nothing else you can do. This is really stupid. Just forbid them. If they go against your will, they'll regret it even more. You have to hurt someone, either yourself or them. Decide which you're more willing to do. Let them get married. They are adults and can choose their own fate. Yeah, let them get married. I mean, the part about the elf outliving her is pretty moot, right? The elf's gonna outlive just about any other race in the game, so no. Let them get married. Sounds like a plan that should be at least considered. Damn it. I was hoping my problems were unsolvable. The second problem. I think maybe I should just throw a barrel of powder into the sewer and light the fuse. It's the only way to get those cowards out of there. But if I do that, then you'll get another fuse. And I don't think I'll like where you stick that one. I'll send soldiers to drag the cowards back to the surface. Let them stay there and keep the fortress free rats. I don't mind. We'll settle this issue later, when we need them to fight. I can't wait for now. It can wait for now. Give them time. They will get bored in the sewers and come out to see what their friends are doing. Yeah, I'll send soldiers to drag them out. That easy, huh? But maybe it could really work. Fine, I admit it. Just didn't want to think about all this. My head is spinning. The third problem. For some reason, I never thought the entire tribe would come up to the surface. I only ever pictured the warriors up here. But what do I do with the rest? I guess we could use the hungry infants to deafen the enemy. They scream so loud you can hear them behind the walls of Dresden. I can't think of what to do with the others. I'll send all those who can't fight to Nerisian. They'll be taken care of there. It's safe in the fortress. Let them stay for now. We'll think of something later. Let them go back to their caves. This is no place for the weak. It's safe in the fortress, yeah. I'll still worry about them, but I guess that's what it means to be chief, right? Nothing to it. Here's a lesson from one commander to another. Don't be afraid of making your own decisions, but know that you can always talk to me. Land size. Alright, lesson heard. Learned. I'll try to be as good as you. It's not the poor folks' fault they got stuck with the most useless chief in all Galarian, and maybe the adjacent planes too. A chief who's extraplanar... bad, I say. Alright, next up. Yacker. A familiar figure, clad in black armor, appears... Oh yeah, I remember Yacker. Appears before you, and ceremoniously offers a salute. Greetings, Knight Commander. Yacker Ankali from Paralector Derange's squad at your service. I'm afraid it's becoming a habit, but once again, I bring dire news. Yacker shrugs apologetically. Yacker casts a nervous sideways glance at his superior officer. Paralector, while you've been following the Knight Commander, much has happened at our outpost. Enough empty chatter, Knight. Give your report. Although Regel's tone remains dispassionate as ever, his gaze has grown in intensity. He watches Yacker like a predatory beast, prowling ever closer to its prey. Yacker snaps to attention and repeats a message he's clearly taken pains to memorize. Reporting to whom it may concern. A group of Hell Knights has vanished under suspicious circumstances. They were last seen on the road to the occupied city of Iz. The Knights were escorting a group of cultists and carrying letters captured in a recent raid on an underground hideout. They disappeared after reporting their approach to our outpost, and the chapters quartered there failed to find any traces of the missing knights. The situation is highly abnormal. Such a large squad could have fallen in battle, but they could hardly have vanished into thin air without so much as a sign of struggle. Powerful demonic forces might be involved in their disappearance. Thus, we inform Dresden about the incident and plead for help in our investigation. Tell me about the hideout. Where were the cultists captured? It was a secret hideout consisting of a large warehouse and several workshops, which produced equipment for cultist cells all over Mendev. We'd been tracking the cultists for a while, before finally locating and attacking them. Strangely, our intelligence reports had indicated that several powerful demons were always present inside the hideout, but our strike team only found mortals. We captured and escorted them to our outpost for questioning. What of this outpost where the knights were last seen? As I understand it, Paralector Rinth, Tai, and Deothan informed you about the outpost during their visit to Dresden. While we finished its construction just a few days ago, it's already our largest staging ground in the Eastern World Wound. We have a small permanent garrison stationed there, and we use it as a resting area for the Hell Knights involved in various expeditions. I'll take care of it. Reggie waves Yacker away, and then sets his pale yellow eyes on you. We must visit the Hell Knight outpost as soon as we can. I suggest you treat this incident as seriously as possible. It might have unexpected consequences. Hell Knight outpost has been revealed. Alright. This is the diplomatic thing. Commander, the capital needs you to take decisive action. There has been a major scandal. The nation of Andoran, our diplomatic partner, has sent its army to help the crusade. However, this apparently generous gesture is nothing more than political provocation. The Andorans want to prevent the emerging reapproachment between Mendev and Cheliax, of which I have previously informed you. They've deliberately sent their army to our territory without seeking Neresian approval. If Mendev accepts this help, it will cool our relations with Isger and their suzerain, Cheliax. The Royal Council expects you to reject Andoran aid, direct them toward Her Majesty's court. They are welcome to negotiate with the capital. Unfortunately, we can't disregard the decision made by Her Majesty and her council. Sauciel pauses, then suddenly gives you a slight smile. But those Andorans didn't come here empty-handed. They brought weapons and supplies. Let them share those with us, since Neresian forbids them from joining our army. Therein regards Lady Konomi with feigned disapproval. Come now, Lady Konomi. All this suspicion, I am sure that the Andorans are driven by nothing more than benevolence and concern for our collective future. We simply must accept them like dear friends. We should send the Andorans back home instead of off to Neresian, and declare as loudly as possible that we disapprove of their underhanded methods. Otherwise, our capital's diplomats will see it as an opportunity to strike a few deals and sweep the whole scandal under the rug. And that's not right. Vile deeds should be exposed, not hidden. If the whole deal's about them being Andorans, they should just stop being them. Take down their banners, call themselves mercenaries, problem solved. What's the gist of this political conflict? Isger is a protectorate of Cheliax, and Andoran and Cheliax have a long history of feuds. For the Andorans, the highest values are freedom and equality, and for the Cheliaxians, it's order and hierarchy. It's as if the two countries were made to be at odds. The fact that they are both allied with Mendev doesn't stop them from settling the scores at any opportunity. For the time being, Neresian considers it more advantageous to cooperate with Igorian, the capital of Cheliax. No one is cutting ties with Andoran. No, it's just that the relations have cooled somewhat. It's a common occurrence in the politics of major powers. That is why Neresian insisted on inviting Isger, Cheliax's protectorate. When you accepted their forces, the Andorans resorted to provocation. Either Neresian receives their help, incurring Igorian's discontent, or it risks a diplomatic row. The Royal Council chose the row. Let's see what the council has to say. Sauciel. I come from Andoran myself, and as Shellen is my witness, I wish I could offer another solution, but we have sworn an oath to Her Majesty. If Neresian doesn't wish to see Andoran troops in Dresden, we have no right to invite them. But no one can forbid us from accepting their help in the form of weapons and supplies. After all, this war is not just some political conflict. This is a battle for the fate of Galarian. Everyone is entitled to do their part. What touching bashfulness. You're proposing we behave like the daughter of a noble family who wants to give herself to a dashing bard, but keep her maiden honor? Darren, does it become us to reject the aid of our valiant allies, who are on their way here to share the burden of this holy war? I sense the sins of pride, envy, and, yes, a whiff of covetousness, too. It's coming from the direction of Neresian. But there can be no place for sin on a crusade. Lady Konomi shudders pointedly. Don't forget about the sin of slander count. Enough tomfoolery. Your jests will lead to diplomatic disaster. Perhaps not. One thing I can say for sure, this was a bold move by Enderin. They are willing to invest much in this cause, our cause. I see no reason to refuse. I never was fond of Cheliax anyway. I don't like their practices or their wine. Excuse me. Get out. Lan. The longer I sit on this council, the harder it is for me to figure out which demons we're supposed to defeat. The ones on the front line or the ones we're protecting? How can people think about plots and intrigues when the world hangs in the balance? I don't have much faith in the integrity of Nerisian bureaucrats, which is why I'm suggesting that we treat the Enderins in a way that will make it clear. We don't stand for being used. If you want to help, then do it directly, or do it decently. And if you want to scheme, just go home. It will discourage wily opportunists, but win the respect of those who value honesty and decency. The politicians may be at fault here, but what is the soldier's crime? They are prepared to risk their lives to defend Galarian, and they're certainly not looking to gain anything from this war. Is it just to punish them for the actions of their leaders? With logic like that, we shouldn't be surprised when people start to judge us by the deeds of the Nerisian bureaucracy. Woljif. I know a guy or two with connections in merc circles. A bit creepy, but they keep their word. It'll take 5 minutes for him to turn an Enderin army into a mercenary company. They'll dig up some distinguished name of some currently retired group, fix you up with the banners and uniforms, and record the company's arrival in the books of the local mercenary guild. Even the fuzziest clerks won't realize that they're not well-respected dogs of war, but a detachment of Enderin regulars. And just like that, under neutral banners, we've accepted our new friends into our army. Clever, eh? It's crooked, not clever. If a soldier doesn't care under which banners to fight, when they're not a soldier, just your average cutthroats. I read that terribly. If the Enderins agree to something like this, my respect for them will plummet. It's not as high as it is. Lady Konomi? Firstly, because it is the wish of the capital, Lady Konomi falls silent for a few moments, letting the weight of her argument sink in. And secondly, you do understand that this situation is larger and more complex than what you can see from Dresden. It would be inconvenient for us to quarrel with Cheliax at the moment, and Enderin is pushing us to do exactly that. I can promise you that Mendev will compensate you for your losses. We are guided not by consideration of our own benefit, but of the good of your army and the entire crusade. Nuh-uh, no dice. When they give you something, you take it, especially freebies. Don't bother feeding us that garbage about compensating us later. The authorities do it whether it's fleecing time, and then... The authorities do it whenever it's fleecing time, and then what? The people get nothing back, compensating my tail. I have no more questions. Okay. This is going to be a long episode. I think we're going to go with Konomi. 10 cuirassiers, 30 champions, and 30 marksmen are recruited at the commander's headquarters. Crusader morale increases by 20. Lady Konomi, I will act according to the will of Nerisian. The capital will appreciate your willingness to toe the line. Rest assured, everything you've forfeited will be amply compensated by the treasury. With that, this meeting is adjourned. I doubt there will be a need to assemble the diplomatic council anytime soon. It will take a while for Nerisian to deal with all the internal fuss and squabbles with foreigners. That is, to resolve important political matters. For the time being, Dresden will be left to its own devices. Alright, good. That's going to be it for this episode, guys. Man, a lot happened. In those final 10-15 minutes of the episode. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and have a wonderful day. Until next time, I'll catch you later.